Hi, it's Chris with Implied Music. Odd meters are a staple of many cultures' music, although they don't show up very much in Western common practice music or, just like American pop music for that matter. But they can be an awful lot of fun to work with and play with. They are irregular and require just a certain amount of thought. I know some tricks though. Let's play a couple things and talk about like how I think about it. Well, odd meters, time signature like 5/4, 5 beats in a measure. Paul Desmond's Take Five, for instance. Or so many Middle Eastern just dance rhythms that are sort of irregular 7/8, 11/8, 13. Groups of like high prime numbers can be a little bit difficult to manage. I was just playing Philip Glass Piano Etude number 16, and it rolls like this. Listen to this. It's really, I'm not going to play it exactly, but this is sort of the phrasing of it. Listen to just the left hand part. So it's now that's basically 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. But counting to 7 can be weird. Counting to 4 sometimes is hard for us. What I like to do is break things down, and it's actually fairly easy. Just look at this group, the first measure there. Groups of 2's and 3's are basic. They're sort of fundamental. Look at the pattern that I just played and check it out. This is the first group, and it's a group of 3. And this is really just built into the pattern in the piece as well. Then a group of 2, followed by a group of 2. I think of this, which is 7 beats, as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. If you break any odd metered phrase or chord progression or rhythm into manageable groups, it's a lot easier to handle. Now, there are examples for this kind of thing in Western common practice. There's a general thing called a compound meter, which is any group of 3. So here's my pulse. And ordinarily, we would divide that pulse equally in 2's, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But compound meters divide that pulse in 3. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a. I just played 2 measures of 9. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Compound meter, 9, 8. Eighth notes grouped in 3 groups of 3's. Well, that's a normal compound meter, oddly enough, in a lot of classical music. But it does get a little bit wacky when you start to group things in other, irregular arrangements. The famous part from Take Five is grouped, if we want to use this technique, like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Groups of 3's and 2's empower you to manage your complicated meters in a way that is sort of smaller bites. It's just easier to chew on groups of 2 and 3's. So let's say I have a fast pulse. In fact, I'm going to show you on the metronome how this works. And I'm in Logic. And I want you to see how I set up time signatures in Logic. And if I just go over to the metronome and turn it on, and then control-click and say metronome settings, I get this window here. And this is a normal window. And the metronome is now on, and we're going to hear something that kind of just is going to be 60 beats a minute. It's pretty slow beat. Here we go. Let's change the tempo. 120. Now, down here, I can uncheck beat and I'll still get all of the attacks, all of the ticks of the metronome. But if I change the time signature, and I'll do that up here by clicking on time signature, and I'll go to one of these time signatures that's grouped. Let's go to 15/8. This is fascinating, right? Now, you can see that I've actually sort of created this already as a group of 4, a group of 4, a group of 3, and then a group of 4. All right, I'm going to turn that on, and I'm going to go ahead and just insert a new time signature. And now that I have, and I'm going to look down here and beat, group, and bar are all turned on, I'm going to hear a fairly fast set of 15 ticks. Confusing and hard to manage, right? But check this. If I turn beat off, I will just hear the groups, those groups that I set up. So this is going to be a lot easier to manage. Listen for 4, 4, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here come all the beats back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, right? You get the idea. It's actually hard to manage this kind of complicated, fast time signature if you hear all the ticks. But if the individual beats are gone, it starts to have a kind of a weird swinging feel. And this is the essence of sort of Middle Eastern dance music, because the hiccup in there feels almost kind of natural once you get the vibe. So what does that mean for us? Well, say as an improviser or a composer, I think what it suggests is this. If I play melodic patterns or broken versions of chords, say, that are by their nature groups of 3 notes or 4 or 2 notes, I can actually create new complicated time signatures by just manipulating those phrases. I'll show you what I mean. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. So 3, 3, 3, that's 9. 1, 2, 1, 2, that's 4. 9 plus 4 is 13. That was a measure of 13, and I wasn't counting to 13, and it really wasn't that complicated because I was just thinking about the groupings. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I'm in 13. And I can speed it up, change the pattern, but keep the phrasing. Now, I'm going to leave you with one last thing, and it's worth mentioning because it's a kind of unusual grouping that we actually use in pop music all the time. So that was 13, right? How do we divide 8? It's an important question because 8 is a basic unit of sort of time for us in pop music. Well, ordinarily we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, right? That's what we ordinarily do. But there's another way of dividing 8. 3, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 is a standard bass line. It's sort of a New Orleans second line rhythm or the Bo Diddley beat. So that bass line was always going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Grouping in groups of 3's and 2's is a really powerful tool. You can create odd time signatures. You can create conventional compound meters by just only groups of 3's. And you can create like fairly fun, sort of propulsive pop music groupings like we just did there. I think it's worth playing around and trying to get them into your body a little bit. You can listen to the amazing album Time Out, the Dave Brubeck Quartet's album Time Out. It has tons of great, sort of very approachable, conventional sort of jazz, odd time signatures. And it appears in modern classical music as well. Eastern European and Middle Eastern music is not afraid of complicated compound or mixed meter time signatures at all. And I don't think we should be either. I think it's a lot of fun to sort of enjoy and jam and play around with them. Well, I hope it's been useful. Like and subscribe, ding the bell. You'll be notified when I do my videos. I'll see you next time.